Hello and welcome, everybody, to the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Winter League 2025 preview show. I am your host, Aaron TU2, and with me is CyberDark86. Hello, CyberDark. Excellent. It's actually the second rando I've been on mic for today. It's pretty fun. Okay, well, CyberDark was talking, but apparently you guys couldn't hear him, so I'll give him a minute to figure that out. But just what we're going to do, we're going to quickly go over the structure of the tournament and a little bit of the flag sets, and then we'll get to the groups. We have no fancy, fun way of doing it. We're just going to, straight facts today.
Ah, there we go. Push to talk is still on.
I hear you. Chat, do you hear CyberDark? Let us know. Don't lie.
Okay, apparently I have push to talk on for OBS, but not for Discord. That makes
Yeah, that explains why I could hear you in one way, but they couldn't hear you.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do the group reveal and go through all the flag sets for and the I guess the general layout of the tournament league thing.
All right. Well, you lead us, Maestro, because I can only see what you got up.
All right, we've got our format here. We've got an 8-week league, 5 weeks of regular season, 3 weeks of playoffs. Different flags for each week, of course. This is usually around the chaos type. Not everything full chaos. Some of it's closer to vanilla, but you know. And we're going to be using the current version of the randomizer that McGregor was put out, which is, I think, still 3.0.3.
Yeah, I think he was close to doing a patch, but some stuff came up and the thing got broke. So I think he's still trying to figure that out when he has time. So, hey, nothing has changed.
Right, so it's the version we'll be using for a while, so everyone should know it fairly well now.
So our format here is every week you will be in one of the 3 or 4 player races. If you are in a 4-player race, it'll be 5 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, 1 point for fourth. If there's only 3 people, I believe it goes 5-3-2 unless you forfeit. I think then we force it down to 1. Unless we've changed that, I can't remember.
I think that's still the way we're going. It might be like if you forfeit after everyone else is done, we might still give you the 2, but we'll talk.
Okay. Yeah, I think if you actually try to race, you get the 2. If you don't race at all, we just give you the 1. So
Yep,
anyway, top
right.
16 after week 5. So we do 5 weeks of this. Top 16 make the playoffs. It's possible we might have a play-in race if there's a tie that crosses that thing. We've had that happen before, and we've had it not happen before. So, and then the last part here: Permatorch, Torches in Battle, Speed Hacks, and Death Necklace are active, except where noted. Speed Hacks we decided to normalize for the entire tournament this year.
Just a reminder too, Speed Hacks is like level up sound, flute sound, in sound. It does not speed up your text. We found that people prefer not having fast text, so Speed Hacks only. And I believe there's at least one race where one of these is turned off, probably Permatorch.
Yes, there's 1 week without Permatorch. There's 1 week without where Death Necklace and Torches in Battle are tri-stated.
All right, so week 1, which is the current week coming up, your groups, of course, will be rolled tonight. Everyone can start scheduling matches after that, and the matches will go on throughout the rest of the week. It's Winter Chaos time.
Yep, and you can see on there random experience requirements, so you don't know exactly when your levels are going to come unless you talk to the king. No shuffled chests, but we do have random chest locations. So the throne room will always be torch, gold, and I guess the other chest will be gold because keys are turned off. And your 3 overworld search spots will also be predictable. Flute and coal overworld search spot will be the token, and Hawksness will have the armor.
A big thing here, because the other chests are randomized in their locations. There is a map in the training room. We also in the league rules document, there's a link to a bunch of resources. One of those resources is pictures of all the random locations that chess could be in. I believe thanks to Chadbert.
I believe Chadbert put up the website or some Canuck was the one who actually aggregated the info. There's one small thing that's missing in that, though, and that is Stone's Cave isn't listed there. But there are 3 possible chests in Stone's Cave. So just don't forget that Stone's Cave exists. Anyway, what else do we have? Random weapon prices, so plus summer sales. So they will be random and half off-ish. Vanilla monster abilities, but we do have the chaos enemy stats and rewards. So this means that Star Wyvern will have heal more, and Red Dragon will be 25% sleep and some percent weak breath, no matter if they are a baby enemy or a high-end enemy. The only exception to that, and to clarify this because some other people are confused, if an enemy becomes a noodle, its abilities will be cleared and it will not have them. And the Dragon Lord will not have vanilla abilities. Both DL1 and DL2 are randomized, where DL1 can be anything. It actually breaks the 50% cap for DL2 and sleep. And DL2 will be up to 50% sleep and heal, I believe. As a possibility, not necessarily.
Yep, up to, of course. We also have randomized monster XP and gold, so your slime could give 255 gold and 350 experience, or, red dragons could give 1 and 1. It's all randomized. So basically, here you find your noodle, or you find something with great XP, and that's what you grind on.
Yes, week 1 is about as easy as you can get a chaos set up for, but it can still be all over the place. We've seen, I think I had a seed where I was in go mode at 28 minutes and I won in over an hour because the DL1 was so difficult. And we've seen stuff like this all over the place. So any other thoughts about week 1?
Very fast XP, so we should be leveling faster, but not necessarily because of random XP requirements. Short and easy Sherlock makes it nice. You just walk in, you only do the top floor. And no scared and scaled medals, just normal medals. Well, randomized.
And it is small map, which means it's a little bit smaller, but I think people tend to find that more misleading. I wouldn't just assume things are going to be around the corner.
All right, so that was the week that is current. Week 2, we won't spend a whole lot of time on the rest of the weeks, just go through them really quick. But week 2 or second week, Big Swamp, no hurt more, no problem. So of course our first 2 flags are Big Swamp and no hurt more.
And once we get those hard ones out of the way, we put on nice things like very fast experience, random rewards, not random enemies. So you might find your end game grind in zone 0 on a red slime or a slime with 3 to 4 hit points.
Speed hacks again, of course. I put this in, I think, before we put speed hacks on everything. And summer sale, so weapons will be cheaper. Also, small map again.
Yes, this might be the most reliably quick week. Usually that's week 1, but we decided to do it this way this week. So another thing there, the alt run algorithm. If you do not know how that works, feel free to ask. It can be a little bit complicated, but I have some things that can kind of help you show how that will work.
Week 3 is our first position week. So first 2 weeks, your groups will be randomized. You will not have any rematches in week 2. In week 3, you may. We're basically taking positions 1 through 4 as in group 1, positions 5 through 8 in group 2, and so on.
Yes, and as far as the positioning goes, it goes by first your total points and then strength of schedule, which is just how many people have you beat, what's their win totals and stuff. So week 3 might not be the clearest picture, but by week 3, if you're not heading in the right direction, you're going to need to make up some ground real fast. And yes, we call this Neapolitanish. Usually it's vanilla, but we combined 3 metas this year. We have the vanilla map. Then there's also Three's Company, which lets you beat the game by taking the princess to the Dragon Lord. And then Permanent Repel, which sounds, normally we don't put Permanent Repel in the regular season. It's usually reserved for late playoffs. But with this combination of flags, once you get to hurt level 4 and you can cast some spells, it tends to not be too bad.
Nope, for sure. And we do have Hurt more in this week, of course. Big thing this week, and it's technically can happen any week, but because of Permanent Repel, if all players, or by majority, so 3 out of the 4, vote pre-race, you can reroll armor if armor's in the throne room. Of course, that will help with Permanent Repel, but that's pre-race, and at least 3 out of 4 players, or 2 out of 3 if you're in a 3-person group, have to agree to that.
Yeah, this is there's a lot of technical decisions you have to make, and vanilla knowledge will help you out quite a bit. If you again, if there's anything you need to know, feel free to ask. There's a bunch of resources we can direct you to.
Week 4, I'm glad we put this up in the regular season.
It's random percent. I think this is the one general flag set we've had the most demand for. We even had a random percent tournament. So by when we say random percent, there's a few flags that are turned on, a few flags that are turned off, and a whole slew of flags that are set to the tri-state setting. That means that until you play the game, you will not know if the flag is on or off. So how to approach the seed kind of evolves as you start learning more about it.
Right, so some of them you'll know right away, like Shuffle Chest. If you pick up Erdrick Sword in the throne room, you know the chests are shuffled. Random chest locations you won't know until you get out of the throne room, but when you see the treasure, you'll know most likely right away. Random spells you'll know fairly quick. This is normal. Random shop prices you'll know quick, but there are some like I'm assuming we have treasure cards on. Yes, we do. You won't know until you get one, kind of thing, or you try to run away from one and you move back a step. So some of the things you won't know until further in the game. Some of them you'll know within the first 30 seconds.
Right, and again, it's worth mentioning there are 2 flags that when tri-stated don't work like the other ones. Those are Treasure Guards and Summer Sale. They operate per instance. So if a club can be half off, can be summer sailed, and a Copper Sword might not be. And with Treasure Guards, yeah, it's per thing. So there's a 50-50 chance per key item that it'll have a guard.
And as Artorias points out, you don't know if you got the 1 in 32 Death Necklace until you put it on, like pulling a Brian Williams.
Yes, in the tournament that Brian Williams organized, he got the 1 in 32.
And all of the viewers knew ahead of time, but he did not.
All right, then going into week 5, called Chaos the Second. This is a bit of a rehash of week 1, but as week 1 tried to make it about as the easiest chaos experience possible, week 5 goes the opposite direction. We put on heal and hurt before more, make it a lot harder to get to the heal more and hurt more. Chaos enemies, still random experience requirements, but that's sometimes good, sometimes real bad.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much standard for this league. Speed hack, summer sale, fast XP. Normal map is a little bit bigger than usual. Treasure guards are on, but easy Sherlock is on. Again, this is one that it's more like traditional chaos, I guess, before so many flags got added in. And this is also a position round, so this is the last week of regular season. You'll pretty much know who's going to be in the top 16 by that point anyway, for the most part. It's really just getting your final positions here.
Oh, to follow up what IC Tennis is asking about, if the Death Necklace flag is turned off, it operates as in vanilla, which means that in vanilla there's a 1 in 32 chance of it showing up, but it does nothing but curse you. So the extra rando functionality is disabled. We'll go over that more, but basically that week you might just want to if you get the death necklace, it might be worth taking a save at the king and then just throwing it on and seeing what happens to see if you get the attack or not. Or you can just assume you won't get the 1 in 32, and if you do, it'll be a fun story.
Yep.
But yeah, okay, that's in the regular season. There will be a lucky 16 people, and I do mean lucky. Getting through Winter League requires a lot of skill, but a ton of luck. You go here to the quarterfinals, where we have them seeded basically to try to even out the groups. And there you go. This is Stair Shuffle Chaos. This is kind of the normal Stair Shuffle meta with random chest locations, Stair Shuffle treasure guards. It also has the easy ult run combo, and we added in chaos enemies as well. So there's a lot of hijinks that can happen in this one, between whether or not there will be a mega dungeon, which sometimes happens with Stair Shuffle, sometimes doesn't, and possibly having to deal with Charlock floors in chaos before you get to Charlock.
Yep. So basically our big Stair Shuffle week. Week 7, Random Repel Runback. The semifinals, so we have 2 groups of 4 runners seeded from the other 2 groups. The biggest thing here is permanent repel and random stats consistent, but then there's a bunch of tri-state stuff again.
Yeah, and the point of the random stats consistent there is that only comes into play because chaos is turned off, but random rewards can be on. So if it does come on, it will be made consistent. We call this sometimes the Brian Williams flags, which means that enemy experience in gold will be somewhat randomized. It's not exactly the cleanest process because it wasn't made to do this. Enemies like the middle slime will be worth nothing. The golem will be worth nothing. I think the golem is actually a lower enemy level than the gold man. So some enemies will just be worth less, but you could get a 300 experience, like Blue Dragon or something at the end of the game. So it makes you have to think a little bit more. But yeah, there's a mini random percent kind of tucked in here.
And week 8, of course, is our grand final week. We will have 1 group of 4 racers seeded from our previous 2 groups. Top 2, I think, move on of each group. 2 races. The way we're doing it this year is, well, last year we did points, same as regular season, and whoever had the most points, but that turns into a lot of tiebreaker races, which isn't exactly great. So this year we're going to be using the finishing time and aggregating both times. We will be limiting 4th place to a maximum of 20 minutes over 3rd, just to give them a chance of still having a chance in the second race, basically.
Yeah, and also not making them have to finish if they think they're 20 minutes out, because sometimes, that's just how it works out in the playoffs.
Yep, and of course, if there still is a tie, then we will do a tiebreaker race. Tiebreaker flags have changed a little bit this year, too. I think we took out Cursed Princess. Three's Company's still there, but there is no Cursed Princess anymore.
Yeah, we generally decided that Cursed Princess is just an insanely random flag, and that maybe isn't the best thing to have deciding important things. Now, if you want to have something like a Royal Radish tournament, where the whole tournament is focused around that sort of thing, that's great.
Yep, lowest combined time. So say someone gets, I don't know, an hour in the first race and an hour in the second race, then their combined time is 2 hours.
Yeah, and I think we've had tie breaks in the finals every year except for one. It's been kind of ludicrous. So, but anyway, week 8A is the you pay a little extra attention to the screen here. It's the Nothing Jon Snow week. I assume that is some sort of Thrones of Violence reference or whatever that thing's called.
Game of Thrones, yes. So Grand Finals Race 1, there are no numbers on the screen. Anything that would have numbers, like your shop prices, your experience needed to level up, even your stats on the normal screen, they're all just blacked out.
Yeah, this we pretty much put on every flag that we could tell you no about random dungeons, so no bearings, uh, invisible price, so no visible hero, no visible NPC. Treasure guards is no free lunch. Even though no armor in Sharlock seems like it's a positive thing, it just we had to because it had the word no in it.
Yep, should be a fun one. Great for the finals, I think.
This should be, I think, the only way we could really push no numbers much harder is if we made it chaos, and nobody is asking for that.
And C. Parsley pointed out, yes, once you hit Dragonlord 2, the numbers will return because, of course, you have to, know you have more than 48 HP to cast Heal More, or before all that. You will not be able to check your stats in that battle, though. So you only know what's on the normal screen ahead of you. So your HP, your MP, that's about it. You can't tell your attack power, your agility, any of that stuff. Not that agility matters.
And there we go. Week 8B, the kitchen sink. Almost every single challenge related thing is on. It says all gameplay tabs. I think we turned one off this year. We took out random weapon prices because that seems to make the things easier a lot more often than harder. But chaos monsters, big swamp, treasure guards. We got just a whole bunch of hefty, difficult flags put on. Sometimes this week, the other big thing is that we put on make stats consistent with the chaos for week 8B. Because honestly, because last year's 8B was too easy. So we had to make it a lot harder.
Yep, and we gave in a little bit and put no armor in Sherlock and easy Sherlock. You know.
I think we've kind of just started putting easy Sherlock anytime we have chaos on, because even though running away from a 255 agility enemy in Sherlock, it's not much easier to do one that's only 75% of that, but it's just a little ridiculous when it's all the way up.
Those damn slimes. All right, so the groups. All races can begin scheduling each week after the groups are announced on Sundays. We will usually have another stream where we just go over the flags for the current week and announce the new groups. Probably, I guess, around this time every Sunday. You'll have a full week to finish, and of course, you need to finish in that week, because if not, it will drag everybody behind, and we don't want to do that.
Right, and the best thing I would say is we'll try to get everything up and ready tonight. Do not delay in trying to figure out the schedules, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. And if we don't see you talking after a couple of days, somebody is going to start tapping on your shoulder, because sometimes people join the tournament and then never actually schedule races.
Yep, so, a bit of respect for your fellow racers. Try to schedule as soon as you can, and do what you can to work out a decent race time with them. We will try to restream everything we can. We may not get everything restreamed, but we will certainly try, and if not, we'll try to do a podcast afterwards.
All right, and with that said, here are the group reveals. Group 1.
We've got Edge, we've got Sonirath, we've got Sandcraft, and we've got Venicus.
Yeah, sorry, it's super blurry on my screen. I need to readjust. Yeah, that's an interesting group. You have Sandcraft and Venicus both made the playoffs 2 years ago, and neither of them were in the tournament last year. Sonirath is still fairly new. I think this is his second tournament. Edge is always on the edge of making the playoffs, so it could be a very interesting group. It feels fairly evenly matched.
All right, and for Group 2, we've got Ryguy, Hoodie, RG365, and Quinn Patrick.
When I saw all of the groups, this is the one where I'm like, this group could finish in any order, and I would not be surprised. I mean, you have Quinn, who is the runner-up from last year, who kind of just stormed through and was great. But I mean, I think there was literally a race 2 days ago, or was it even yesterday, between Hoodie, Archie, and Quinn. So everyone here except for Hoodie has made Winter League playoffs before. I mean, Ragai was in the semifinals last year, and Hoodie came 1 point short in his first tournament, I think. So, he's since done pretty well last year in the in the standard tourney. So, this one's going to be a fun race to watch.
For sure. All great players here. Group 3. Angel, Opti, Just Chris, and Yakko Wacko 20.
So this group feels you have Angel. He's won 5 tourney titles. So any group that Angel's in, he's gonna be a favorite. But Opti, this is her second tournament. Just Chris's first tournament. And Yakko, again, he came, I think, 1 point short last year of making at least a play-in. So this is an opportunity for the others if they don't to possibly gain some points here. Again, we're not going to crown Angel just yet. He's going to have to earn it. But I think everyone else has got a lot of room here within the group to do some things.
Yep, you never know. I mean, this is the Winter League. Anything can go. But for sure, Angel's probably got the best chance in this one. Group 4. Hey, I'm in this one.
Yes, it's High Spirits, Pav, Silly Dabbit, and Cyberdark. I think everyone here, I don't know, Dabbit and Pav, Dabbit and Pav haven't made Winter League playoffs, but they've both made, or no, actually, Pav just missed the standard playoffs too. He's been close both times. In fact, I think he was like a 7th place or something last year in Winter League after the first 2 races. Just wasn't able to hold on at the end. High Spirits and Dabbit having their 3rd race in 2 tournaments, I think. And Cyberdark, were you in the race with Dabbit last year when Dabbit won and knocked everybody out?
I do not remember, honestly.
That's in my head as a fact, so I'm going to assume it's the case.
I have made playoffs 1 year, but I don't think I've gotten in anywhere else. Maybe.
Yeah, you made the Final 4, I think.
Yeah, I would say High Spirits was probably there as well in that race.
Yeah, he has won one of these, but he's had a while since he's been in that sort of category. So I think he's in form now. I think he's been a bit rusty in the past, but he's been playing a lot of DWR, so I think he might be a threat.
Yep, whichever way, he's got more practice than me, because I have none. Group 5. Scarlet Shadow, Nim, Band, and Zatrix.
Another fun group. I think Man made the playoffs last year. Nim's made it before. I think he had to drop out or just didn't have a very good playoffs last year. Scarlet also missed it after making it 2 years ago, but he also was 4th place in the standard tourney, which is the absolute depth of DWR. Getting 4th place in the standard tourney is a heck of an accomplishment. So this should be a fun group. I think everyone's going to be pretty excited for it. There's no one who has an absolute history of just destroying Winter League, but at the same time, there's some people who have that all have a really strong chance to make it.
Yeah, for sure. I was watching a conversation between Nim and Mand earlier where they were talking about getting 2nd place in all the races, and it was all I could do not to say, well, only one of you can get 2nd place this week.
Also, because he's going to say something about it, he will realize it. I'm just going to call this out. Last year, Mand was in Group 5 for 3 weeks. I think, was it 3 or 4? He was in Group 5 forever. And then during the standard tourney, the group that he was in the same slot as Group 5. So he is here again in Group 5. And I promise we didn't do this on purpose.
Nope, not at all. This was randomized. Group 6. We've got Artorias, Archfield, Sausage Link, and Old Vampire Lady.
Yeah, this is an interesting one too. Sausage is kind of there with Edge in the always just kind of on the outside. Had a really strong start, I think, to the tournament last year and just wasn't able to hold through. Artorias was in the quarterfinals. Archfield made the semifinals. I think this is OVL's fifth tournament. She's been very consistent joining these now, so we'll see what happens in this one. This is a very interesting group as well.
For sure, yeah. All right, group 7, yeah. Destiny of a Dragon Warrior, IC10ES, Bob Pineapple MD, and Ladab.
Yeah, another interesting one. You have Destiny, who always feels like he's on the verge of breaking through and getting in. And I could see that happening here too. I know he did make the standard tourney playoffs a couple of years ago. IC Tennis second tournament, I think won a couple in standard. It didn't exactly come out of nowhere, but did pretty decent. And then Bob is it's been a little bit of a cool streak. We'll see if he can come back. He again lost in the last round last year to not get in, and Ladab has seemed to make the playoffs or brackets every year since like the first year he's been in it. So he's we'll see if he continues improving.
Yeah, Ladab's a fairly strong Dragon Warrior player. I believe maybe at one point a world record holder of Dragon Warrior Switch.
Yeah, I think he had it for a while.
Yep, and then maybe lost it to someone else that has raced with us in the past, but is not in this current tournament.
Yeah, Guinea Luddy. All
Yes,
right,
there we
let's
go.
go to Group 8.
Dweem, Shoof, Harvis, and yourself, Aaron.
Yeah, we have, Dweem has looked really strong in practice. He's been playing a lot. Last year, he joined the tournament after we started, so he was kind of on the wrong foot and still ended up putting up pretty good results. Joof has been, since the first standard tourney where he went 7-0 in groups, kind of surprised a lot of people and pushed through. He's really struggled to kind of finish the project and get back. Here's another opportunity for him. We're welcome to have Harvis back. I see him in chat. Awesome. And then there's me. I'm the defending champ somehow. So I look forward to this.
Yeah, the rest of the group has their work cut out for them, but they're all good racers at the same time. Of course, Joof should be the master of Chaos Flags because he makes some of them. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch again. Okay, this is a pretty big group as well. We got Jackamus, who hasn't been in a lot of tournaments lately, but we're happy to see him back. Kigless, Big Slamu, and Stags28.
Yeah, I've only, if you think of me of however long I've been in DWR, my experience in tournaments and Jackamus overlaps by one tournament. So we're looking forward to see that. I saw him streaming something else earlier today, so excited for that. Kigless did make the round of 16 last year, made it to the quarterfinals. Slamu made it to the finals. He is a previous standard tourney champion, but this was the first finals appearance for Slamu in Winter League last year. And Stags, I think by his own admission, tends to do a little bit better in standard, but he's going to give it the puncher's try here and see what happens.
All right. So that was Group 9. We've got Group 10. This is the first of our 3-player groups. The next 3 groups will be 3 players, just because of the numbers we have. So we got Ziggy, DK, and DB2.
Yes, you could call this a group of death because the 4th player is already dead. But you have, DK finalist repeatedly in Winter League and has also fared well in Standard, won one tournament. You have Ziggy, who is a perennial semifinalist, quarterfinalist in every single tournament. Semifinalist 2 years ago in Winter League. Last year was in the quarters. And Diabetes the second, 2 years removed from qualifying first in Winter League and making it to the finals. Last year, he had a decent year as well, but got knocked out in the semis, I believe.
Another very interesting one to watch. All right, Beta, I think this is yours. Group number, 11? Oog, Miplet, and Beta.
It's a small group, and Beta is not getting his usual first round, just meeting previous champions race. Oog and Miplet are both, I think this is the 3rd year I think you've both been in this. So we're looking forward to seeing what this group could manufacture here, but it should be pretty exciting.
Yep, and with that we have 1 week left, or 1 group left, I'm sorry. C. Parsley, Chadbert, and Jay Coper. Jay Coper has been around for just about all the tournaments, I believe, and C. Parsley and Chadbert are fairly recent.
Yeah, Chatbert is 2 for 2 in making the playoffs or brackets in the tournaments he's joined, though. So he's only joined 2, but he's managed to make the playoffs in both of them. And again, see Parsley, I think this is the fourth tournament now. So I won his last race last year, I believe, in Winter League. So we'll see if that momentum carries over.
Indeed. So those are all the groups. Like Aaron said, we'll get these put up in the spreadsheet shortly. The spreadsheet for scheduling is posted in Winter League room and the players room. Once you are in your groups and we message you telling you that you are in there, start messaging your other opponents. Try to schedule your race as soon as possible. When you do have a schedule figured out, ping a tourney admin and we will get it added to the sheet as soon as possible.
Yeah, and very specifically ping tourney admin, not just one of us randomly pin the account. So we all see it. And, so we'll get a bunch of pings for a while, but it's okay. We'll survive.
All right, so a bunch of clicks to get rid of all the hidden groups that are there in case we have more players. There we go.
And yeah, our last Sunday standard weekly race will be coming up in just 20 minutes. If you haven't, there should be a race room in racetime.gg. If somebody wants to post it here, they should feel free. We postpone the weeklies for the big tournaments, so we won't be having it until probably after the finals, because we also don't want to interfere with everybody else's ability to schedule. Although Sunday nights aren't usually most popular. So we'll get the groups formed, we'll get everybody added in, and we'll let you guys get to it. So best thing I've always said is just say, here's my availability. And once a couple of people have done that, figure out what works. Don't expect somebody else to lead the charge. There's too many times where there's been like days past where everybody's like very casually talking about availability. Just say, you know what? Once a couple of people are down, how about this time here? That doesn't work. You keep pinning it down, you'll eventually get it. And if not, then that's when we'll figure it out.
Yep, if absolutely necessary, we will try to figure something out with an async race, but we prefer not to do that unless absolutely necessary. I know there are maybe a couple of groups where you'll have people in various far-reaching time zones, maybe even as far as 12 hours apart. So we will work with you the best we can, but please do try to schedule something live.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Actually, I hope you're more excited than I am. I'm a little tired right now. So, we got hopefully what I always say to sell Winter League is it's 5 weeks of fun flags and races. And if you make the playoffs, good luck.
Indeed. Good luck. Have fun. So we'll be going offline shortly. Camion will be coming back online to run the standard Sunday weekly, in about 10 minutes or so, maybe 15. And I look forward to that. And we will see you for some chaos, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. Bye now.
Peace.